The best camera phones in 2022. The battle for best camera phone comes down to an Apple versus Google showdown. And while we have our favorite, the quality of images produced by the latest phones from those companies just goes to show that this is a great time to be in the market for a camera phone. Not only do the best camera phones feature improved hardware, Apple upgraded the sensors on the iPhone 13, while the Pixel 6 Pro gets a long-awaited telephoto lens, the software keeps improving, too. Both Apple and Google rely heavily on computational photography to further improve the images their camera phones produce. Of course, you've got choices beyond those two phone makers when you're trying to hunt down the best camera phone, especially with Samsung introducing camera improvements to its Galaxy S22 lineup. The best camera phones you can buy today. 1. iPhone 13 Pro Max. The biggest iPhone 13 is also the best camera phone you can buy. Apple went all out with the iPhone 13 Pro Max's hardware, increasing the sensor size for the main and ultrawide cameras and adding autofocus to the latter. That ultrawide can act as a macro camera, photographing subjects up to 2 centimeters away. The Sensor Shift OIS introduced last year on the iPhone 12 Pro Max returns this year, and the telephoto received a boost to 3x. Apple also improved its computational photography, especially when it comes to low light. Also new this year are photographic styles, basically real-time filters, and cinematic mode. The latter is portrait video on steroids, boasting dynamically shifting focus to create a truly professional video experience. This is the phone to get if you want the best camera experience. 2. iPhone 13 Pro. Nipping at the heels of its bigger brother, the iPhone 13 Pro is a very close second on this list of the best camera phones. It sports the same hardware as the iPhone 13 Pro Max with the larger sensors, autofocus on the ultrawide camera and macro mode. However, the iPhone 13 Pro is right in line with the Pro Max, getting Sensor Shift OIS and the same 3x optical zoom. Photographic styles and cinematic mode also come standard. Basically, this is the phone to get if you want the best camera experience but in a smaller package. The 6.1-inch display is still gorgeous and features 120 Hz ProMotion for ultra-smooth animations and transitions. The battery life is even awesome, going for almost 12 hours in our battery life test, meaning you can take plenty of pictures and videos. 3. Pixel 6 Pro. Google has once again claimed its Android photography crown. The Pixel 6 Pro has incredible cameras, thanks to upgraded hardware and powerful software chops. The end result is something that can go toe-to-toe with Apple and even evenly trade blows, especially with the night mode, night sight. The 50MP main camera sensor lets in 150% more light, while the 48MP telephoto lens sports 4x optical zoom and 20x digital zoom. And the 11MP front-facing camera has a 94-degree field of view for ultra-wide selfies. Not only do you get the best cameras on an Android phone, but the Pixel 6 Pro sports the new Tensor chip, which lends itself well to things like computational photography and new Google Assistant features. If you're in the Android camp, this is the phone to get if you want the best mobile photography experience. 4. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Samsung didn't make major changes to the camera setup on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, but the enhancements over the S21 Ultra are very welcome. For starters, the 108MP main camera has a larger sensor, letting in more light. A super clear glass over that lens eliminates flare when you're shooting in twilight and at night. The end result is better low-light photos and some sharp images when using the Galaxy S22 Ultra's night mode. Other camera improvements to the Galaxy S22 Ultra focus on the software side of things. You now get adaptive pixel technology for combining 9 pixels into 1, another low-light photo improvement, enhanced AI high-res processing and 4x faster multi-frame processing. Portrait mode benefits from AI stereo depth maps to better separate your subject from the background of the shot. And a video auto-framing feature recognizes up to 10 people and keeps them in focus when you're shooting. Ultimately, the top Apple and Google camera phones remain ahead of Samsung's best efforts, but only barely. This is the camera phone to get for Samsung fans. 5. Google Pixel 6. While it might lack the telephoto lens, the Google Pixel 6 is still a powerful camera phone. You get the same 50MP main and 12MP ultrawide sensors in a slightly smaller body. Photos come out clear and crisp, even though we noticed some color inconsistencies in some photos. Still, the Pixel 6 is the best camera phone for most Android users. You'll get stunning landscape shots, portraits, and selfies. And with all of the new AI-based photography features like Magic Eraser, you have a lot at your disposal. 6. Google Pixel 5a. The Pixel 5a from Google is, by far, the best camera experience under $500 as our Google Pixel 5a versus iPhone SE shootout proves. New to Google's phone this year is the addition of a 16MP ultrawide camera. The Pixel 4a from last year only had a 12.2MP camera, though it alone was extremely good. But the Pixel 5a also has a serious hardware upgrade to help it process photos faster and better. The Snapdragon 765G in the 5a is the same processor you'll find in the Pixel 5 or Pixel 4a 5G. While it's not the best or newest Snapdragon around, and it's easily beaten by the A13 Bionic in the iPhone SE, it's still powerful enough to perform some serious photography magic. The $100 price hike from the Pixel 4a stings a bit, but the hardware upgrades, bigger battery, and larger screen all make up for it. With the Pixel 4a now discontinued by Google, this is the budget camera phone to get. 7. iPhone 13. The best iPhone for the average person, the iPhone 13 features notable improvements over its predecessor. Not only is the battery life significantly better, but the camera's got some upgrades too. First and foremost, the sensors are larger now, letting in more light to help with indoor and night photos. Besides just the excellent cameras, you get the photographic styles and cinematic mode that the Pro models have. Though you lose out on the telephoto lens and wider apertures, you nonetheless get a fantastic photography experience for a very reasonable price. Apple even upped the base storage to 128GB while keeping the cost to you the same. 8. Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. The photo features on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus aren't as extensive as those on the S22 Ultra, but then again, the price tag isn't as large either. And the S22 Plus cameras are quite capable, especially after Samsung boosted the megapixels on the main shooter to 50MP. The sensor is larger on this year's phone, too, so the Galaxy S22 Plus lets in more light for sharper photos in more challenging settings. The main camera isn't the only one to see some improvement. The telephoto lens on the Galaxy S22 Plus now supports a 3x optical zoom, instead of the hybrid zoom that the S21 Plus had to offer. That means less noise when you zoom in on a subject. Throw in other features like 8 Kelvin's video capture at 24 frames per second, an auto-framing feature for tracking up to 10 people when you're shooting video, and advanced stabilization features for minimizing shaky video, and you've got quite a capable camera phone for less than $1,000. If you're looking for a smaller version of this phone, then check out the Galaxy S22. It has the same camera capabilities at the Plus, just in a smaller and slightly less expensive package. 9. OnePlus 9 Pro. Past OnePlus phones have usually been a step or two behind the rest of the best camera phones. But that's changed with the OnePlus 9 Pro, thanks to a partnership with camera specialist Hasselblad. OnePlus and Hasselblad are locked up in a multi-year deal to improve OnePlus's cameras, with the 9 series reaping the benefits first. That translates to better colors in photos taken with the OnePlus 9 Pro, as the post-processing has improved dramatically with this phone. Some features can behave unpredictably. We had mixed results shooting in low light, but overall, we were pleased with the photos we took with the OnePlus 9 Pro. which now has both the hardware and software to keep up with the iPhone and the Pixel. You can see for yourself by checking out our OnePlus 9 Pro camera face-off, in which we look at how the new OnePlus phone compares to the best camera phones from Apple and Google. A cheaper phone, the OnePlus 9, also benefits from the Hasselblad partnership, though that phone lacks the Pro's 8MP telephoto lens. A new version, the OnePlus 10 Pro, is coming to the US at the end of March after debuting in China earlier this year. That model is also set to benefit from the OnePlus partnership with Hasselblad. 10. Samsung Galaxy S21 FE. We'd typically recommend the Galaxy S22 over the Galaxy S21 FE, as the features in the former phone justify the extra $100 cost. But there's one area where the $699 Galaxy S21 FE closely matches Samsung's newer flagship, and that's the camera performance. The Galaxy S21 FE takes excellent zoom shots, largely because its telephoto lens supports a 3x optical zoom. With Samsung's Space Zoom feature, you can zoom in even closer for 30x shots, though you should use a tripod to keep things stable. The images produced by the other rear cameras, a 12MP main shooter and a 12MP ultra-wide-angle lens, compare well to the best camera phones as well. Samsung's low-cost S21 flagship doesn't have the latest hardware, and the battery life disappoints. But if you're looking for a camera phone that doesn't cost as much as Samsung's more recent releases, this is a good alternative.